The call came at 2:17 in the afternoon, just as the boardroom erupted in applause over another multi-million-dollar deal. His phone vibrated once on the polished glass table, a small, almost insignificant sound in a room that worshipped power and profit. He almost ignored it. The number was unfamiliar, but some quiet, unexplainable pull, made him glance down. When he answered, the voice on the other end was small, trembling, and carried words that would shatter the empire he had built around his heart. A young girl asked if he could please come over. She called him Dad. Before we step into what happened next, if you believe in kindness, in second chances, and in the idea that love can rewrite even the hardest stories, take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel to keep these powerful stories alive. Arman Rahman had everything the world admired. At 38, he was a self-made millionaire CEO, the face of a thriving tech company constantly featured on magazine covers and business panels. His schedule was timed down to the second. His suits were tailored. His penthouse overlooked the city like a king surveying his kingdom. But beneath the polished image was a carefully sealed vault of regret. 5 years ago, when he was still clawing his way to the top, he had walked away from a relationship that felt inconvenient to his ambition. He told himself he had no time for distractions. He convinced himself love could wait. The voice on the phone did not sound like a distraction. It sounded fragile. The girl explained that she had found his number in her mother's old things. She said her mother had been sick for a long time and had passed away 2 weeks ago. She said there was no one else to call. Each word landed on him like a stone thrown against glass. His mind raced backward through memories he had tried to bury, late-night promises, a woman who believed in him when he was broke, an argument about responsibility, and the cold silence that followed his departure. He asked for the address. It was on the other side of the city, in a neighborhood he had not visited in years, one that did not match the polished skyline he now called home. He left the boardroom without explanation, ignoring the surprised looks from his executives. The drive felt longer than any journey he had taken. His hands tightened on the steering wheel as doubt crept in. Could this be a mistake? Could someone be lying? But deep inside, beneath layers of pride and fear, he knew the truth was waiting for him. The apartment building was old, its paint peeling, the stairwell dim. When he knocked, the door opened slowly. The girl standing there had his eyes. The same deep-set shape, the same intensity, but softened by innocence and uncertainty. She looked no older than 5. Her hair was tied in uneven pigtails, and she held a worn-out stuffed bear. There was no need for a DNA test in that first moment. Blood recognizes blood in ways science only confirms later. The apartment was modest and painfully quiet. Photographs lined a small shelf, pictures of a smiling woman he once loved, holding a baby, celebrating birthdays, standing in a hospital room. He noticed he was absent from every frame. The girl explained in broken sentences that her mother had told her stories about a man who worked very hard and was very important. She said her mother never spoke badly of him. She said her mother believed one day he would come back. The weight of that faith nearly crushed him. While he had been building companies and collecting awards, a woman had been fighting illness alone, raising his child without complaint. The guilt was suffocating. He walked into the tiny bedroom and saw medical bills stacked neatly on a desk. There were prescription bottles beside a half-finished drawing that read, "Dad," in uneven letters. He felt something inside him break open, something that had been frozen for years. Over the next few days, Arman learned the truth piece by piece. The woman he once loved had discovered she was pregnant shortly after he left. She had tried calling him, but his number had changed as his career accelerated. She decided not to chase a man who had clearly chosen ambition over family. When she fell ill, she hid the severity of her condition, determined to protect her daughter from fear. She worked from home as long as she could, saving every penny. And when she realized time was running out, she wrote his number down and placed it in a small wooden box, trusting destiny to do what she no longer could. For the first time in his adult life, Arman canceled meetings not for profit but for presence. He arranged legal guardianship. He hired tutors and therapists. But more importantly, he sat on the living room floor building puzzles and listening to bedtime stories. He learned how to braid hair badly and cook simple meals awkwardly. The penthouse that once echoed with emptiness was soon filled with scattered toys and laughter. He converted his home office into a bright bedroom painted in soft colors. Every change he made felt like repairing a piece of himself. Yet the struggle was not instant redemption. His daughter carried quiet grief. She sometimes stared at the door as if expecting her mother to walk in. She sometimes asked questions about why he had not been there before. He did not defend himself. He did not make excuses. He told her, in ways a child could understand, that he had made mistakes and that he was learning how to be better. And each time she reached for his hand, he felt forgiveness being offered in the purest form. Months passed, and the media began noticing the shift in him. He declined late-night events. He spoke publicly about balancing success with responsibility. He funded a foundation in his daughter's mother's name to support single parents battling illness. The same man who once chased headlines now quietly created change without needing applause. If this story is touching your heart, please take a moment to like the video, share it with someone who believes people can grow, and subscribe so we can continue sharing stories that matter. And right now, before we reach the end, I have a special request. Comment the word hope if you believe it is never too late to choose love. One evening, nearly a year after that first call, Armand stood by the window of his penthouse, his daughter asleep in the next room. The city lights shimmered below, but they no longer felt like trophies. They felt small compared to the warmth inside his home. He realized that success without love had been a hollow victory. The frightened voice that once asked him to come over had given him something no deal ever could, a chance to become not just a powerful man, but a present father. The call from a strange number had not interrupted his life. It had saved it.